Hey guys, I am Nishant and welcome to Cybernatico. So today in this video, let's brief about what is generative AI or Gen AI. So we'll learn what is Gen AI, their applications and how to build them. I mean in theory. So let's say that we have application like ChatGPT that takes some data. So let me write it here. So let's say we have some data, also known as noise data. So we have this noise data, and when we run it through, let's say some Gen AI application, it becomes some result. And this result can be type of image, audio, or even let's say code. Depends on our use case. So let's say we have some data, which is noise data, and we pass it through some Gen AI application, let's say Chat GPT. So when we pass it through, let's say Chat GPT or any other Gen AI application, it becomes some different kind of data, let's say result, which can be in image or audio or in code. So we can pass our noise data through any application, which can be a Gen AI model. So let me open Chat GPT now. And let's say that we tell it to write some code. So we can say write a Python script to generate numbers from 1 to 100. So it gave us numbers from 1 to 100. So what exactly is happening here? So we gave it a prompt and it gave us a result like this, which is in code format. So we have some input here, and using that input within text format. So let's specify this as text. And when we pass it through this ChatGPT Gen AI model, let me also have the arrow. So we'll pass it through this ChatGPT Gen AI model. This becomes code. So this is a Gen AI that we are talking about. It's modelless basically. So what have we here? We have some input, which can be a text or anything. When we pass it through Gen AI models, it becomes some different kind of result. So let me give you one more example here. Let's copy and paste this. In this case, let's say we have the image of a cat. Okay, sorry. This is a cat image or anything. So when we pass it through ChatGPT, we can ask it to morph it into something else. So I don't know the breed of cats, but for dogs I know some. So let's say we make this as a dog and we have an image of a dog. Let's say we ask it to give different variations of the dog. So when we ask it this, let's say we pass some image to this Gen AI model that we built, it will give us some different kind of dog image based on our search results. So let's say dog image, but this will be a variation of that. It will not be exactly same, but it will be like this. So let's try this. Let me go to Google and search for dog images. Let me download, let's say this. Let's visit this website and let's say we save this dog image. It's done. Now let's come to this ChatGPT. Let me upload this image here and ask it generate a different variation. Let's wait for it. If you see, in this case, we gave it this prompt and it gave us this prompt back. So this is what Gen AI does. It takes one input, let's say some text or image or audio, and it changes it into something else. So to sum it up, what is Gen AI? Let's write it here. Gen AI is a field of artificial intelligence which takes some data and morphs it into something else. The input, okay, let me make it clear that it will not process the existing data, but rather it will generate new variations, or let's say new data. This new data can be of any type, like image, audio, video, code, and much more. So this is what GenAI is. So let me move it at the top here. So GenAI is a field of AI which takes some data and morphs it into something else. It will not process existing data, but rather it will generate new data. This new data can be of any type, like image, audio, video, or code, or so much more. So this is what GenAI is. Now, how to build a GenAI platform or let's application? So to build a GenAI application, we follow some rules. And let me show you what I mean. Tell you what I mean. So let's say we are making a GenAI application or a model. We need to pass our data with some steps. So let's say this is the input that we have, and okay, let me zoom it. So we have the input, we are passing it to GenAI model, which will give us some result. So once we pass some data or input, so it needs to go through some steps, also known as the GenAI pipeline. Now, what are these steps in GenAI pipeline? So this consists of some steps that we need to follow. So let's start the first one, the step which is data collection, or let's say data gathering. So when we are making a request in ChatGPT like this, we need to have some data. So when we tell it to generate some dog image like this or some variations, it is having some data in its model that knows that this is a dog, this is also a dog, and what variation it needs to happen here. So let's say, let me simplify this. Let's say if I write I am Nishant Kumar and tell it, can you write this sentence differently? So if I write it like this, it will give us some alternatives like this. My name is Nishant Kumar, I am Nishant Kumar, this is Nishant Kumar here, and this. So it is creating different variations of the same sentence that I gave it. So first we need to have data collection. So in this case, it is having some data that is allowing it to generate this kind of stuff. It needs to have some data that it can work on or it can use. The second step is data preparation or filtering. In this step, what we do is we do some additional steps, like for example, let's say that we are giving it the sentence. So data preparation means it will take this prompt and it will break it down into different tokens. So I am Nishant Kumar, it will have 4 tokens. Now it will also do some other steps, like it will just remove HTML tags, URLs, spaces, stuff like this. So it can have clear data or clean data that it can work on. So the third step is feature engineering, and in this step we select the meaningful data from the raw data. So it will remove any repeated words or something like that. So the fourth step is modeling. So in modeling, what happens is, let's say we have some input and we can have the data using variations. Like we can have the data in the GenAI pipeline, which is basically data that can be used to morph our input. So let's say if it is a sentence, it can be rewritten like this here, different variations. If it is an image, it can be regenerated and we can say have different variations like this. So this is what modeling is, which means just having our data go through a model that we create and morph it into something else, which is the result. The next one is the evaluation. So in evaluation, we check that if our model is working correctly or not. So let's say if I gave it some input in text and if it generates some relevant results or not that we need using the model. So we need to fine tune it and do some stuff to make sure that our model is working as we want it to be. So if I gave it an image of a dog and told it to generate variations, we need to make sure that it generates the image of dogs, not the image of cats or any other animal. That's what evaluation is. The next one is called deployment. So in deployment, we deploy our model to some other external service like Hugging Face. So it can be used by others or us as well. The last step is called monitoring model. So this step is basically monitoring the current model that we built and making sure that it works as we want it to be. If it doesn't work like that, we can simply update the model. So this is how a Gen AI model works. It has 7 steps, which is data collection or gathering. It needs to be filtered, which is data filtering. We need to make feature engineering, then model it, evaluate, deploy, and monitor it. So 7 steps.